Everybody loves to cha-cha-cha. Little children like to cha-cha-cha. They like to cha-cha-cha. They like to cha-cha-cha. Ooh, everybody likes to cha-cha-cha.
Okay, we're doing pu-erh today. We're going to make this really lovely 2007 show brick. There we go. You can see it has nice flaky, full, whole leaves in it with lots of these, and I'll just do this again, just point out these lovely gold threads there. And I'll point with this guy. There we go. You can see the really nice gold threads. Those are the tea buds. And a high quality tea should be full of those tea buds and lots of whole leaves. So the first step, we've warmed all of our vessels. We're going to take our cha dao and we're going to insert it into the tea. Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah. And just break off a big old flake there. Stick it in our vessel. There we go. Just get another little chunk because we want to make our tea nice and concentrated. A big mistake that people make a lot of the time is using too little tea because it's expensive or because they don't want to waste it. And what they end up doing is wasting it. Because if you don't use enough tea leaves, then your tea won't ever taste the way it's meant to taste, which is full and rich and flavorful and not dilute and weak. So the best way to go about it is to use a lot of tea and steep it many times. It's easier to steep tea fast. It's easier to steep tea fast and get more steepings and flavorful steepings and mitigate the astringency by steeping it faster than it is to pull flavor out of too little tea. You can't make too few leaves stronger without making them bitter. So when in doubt, use more tea. If it's too bitter, steep it faster, or in the case of green tea, lower the temperature of your water. But for this tea, we use fully boiling water. Go ahead and give it a rinse. Especially pu-erh tea particularly benefits from a nice rinse. Some people like to rinse it twice. I don't usually. But it really needs a good second or two to get nice and hot and absorb the water and open up. So we're going to give it just a second and then get a nice big aperture in the gaiwan and give it a nice fast pour, just like that. There we go. And go ahead and rinse our cups. There you go. Now you can see how the leaves have absorbed some of that moisture and opened up a little bit, but you don't want them to be completely unfolded and opened up all the way. You don't want to be seeing a bunch of individual leaves yet. That means that the tea wasn't very well processed and it won't be very long lasting. You should get 15 to 20 steepings out of a nice fermented pu-erh like this. This one's from 2007. That makes it 6 years old now. It's been advanced fermented using the wo-doi process to make it age faster, so you get that rich, earthy, aged pu-erh flavor without having to wait for 20 years, which is what you usually have to do when you're using a sheng pu-erh. So let's give it just a second. And my water isn't exactly where I want it to be today, so I'm going to adapt, which is what a good tea person does, and steep it a little bit longer than I normally would. And the pu-erh is variable. Some people like it thick and strong, some people like it a little bit more mild. So, you adjust it to your taste. If it's too strong for your liking, then steep it shorter, and if it's too weak, use more leaves and steep it a little bit longer. I like it pretty thick, so I'm going to let it get nice and steeped. There we go. And so, because I like it strong, I'm going to tighten the aperture a little bit of the gaiwan and pour it a little slow. For the wash, I do it fast, and then for the actually making the tea, I'm going to do it a little bit slower. Kind of squeeze all of that flavor out. There we go. Put the last few drops, because you want to get as much of the liquid out as possible because it'll get bitter if you're leaving it sitting there. Alright, so Go ahead and pour our tea. Go. And look at that beautiful, bright, vibrant color. Look at that beautiful, bright, vibrant orange honey color, and this will deepen as we steep it to a rich, dark, almost black color, and you really need boiling hot water to do that. I don't have boiling hot water right this minute, but we'll just go ahead and give it a shot by steeping it longer. When you smell it, this tea has a very smooth, full, earthy, rounded flavor and fragrance that, pu-erh has a tendency to get kind of muddy or medicinal, and what you really want to get the full complexity of a pu-erh, an aged pu-erh especially, is you want as much of the earthiness as possible without it getting into that muddy territory. This tea is very, very well balanced and has a perfect mixture of complexity and cleanness. So you're going to smell it, and then slurp it, and then the flavor should be clean, refreshing, and should give you a little bit of a cleansing sensation going down your tongue and down your throat. And as you breathe out, you get a very slight herbally fragrance. And you can also smell the lid of the gaiwan and get a preview of what this tea is going to do as it steeps more and more. We'll hit it one more time and see if we can get it to open up. Like I said, this tea can be steeped upwards of 10-15 times. So as it progresses, it's going to get darker and darker up till about the 7th steeping, 8th steeping, depending on how you're steeping it, and then it will begin to steep out. Give this one a little more time. Since I want to get it thicker, I'm going to close that aperture even more. Just do a really slow pour this time. I'll show the leaves one more time. See how these leaves are progressing, opening up. You get that nice, rich, complex, but clean fragrance coming out. You can see as it progresses, you go from, this is the first steeping, first steeping, second steeping. Alright, so you can see it's got a much darker color there than at the first steeping, and it's going to continue to do that as the tea progresses, and that earthy flavor, as the color gets darker, that earthy flavor is going to come out, and it's going to get deeper. Where the tea hits your mouth, it's going to get deeper and deeper into the back of your throat, and you're going to get that palate cleansing quality is going to come out more. Impeccable.
Everybody likes the cha-cha-cha. They do it 1, 2. All right, 1, 2. And up now. All right, back now. All right, baby, let's cross now. And turn now.